New Jersey is constantly considered one of the best states in the US for coasters, and in 2020 I'm considering New Jersey the launch capital of the US. Many people consider Virginia the launch capital of the US since it features a great collection like Pantheon, Verbolten, Tempesto, Flight of Fear, and Backlot Sun Coaster. Virginia has a weak collection outside of Pantheon and Verbolten in my opinion though, and since the removal of Volcano, it is tied for the most launch coasters in one state outside of California. California has a ton of launch coasters, however only a few come to mind when thinking about standout attractions like Full Throttle and West Coast Racers. Taking a look back in New Jersey, almost every single launch coaster in the state is of high quality. Great Adventure ever gets a multi-launch coaster from Intamin or Premier like enthusiasts are rumoring, it would solidify the state to feature the best launch coasters. Today I'll be counting down the top 5 launch coasters in the state of New Jersey. Number 5. Timmy's Halfpipe Havoc at Nickelodeon Universe. I almost forgot about this coaster to be honest. It's a 20-meter surf rider model from Intamin, and it's fairly basic. It's a small family launch coaster with 2 slightly beyond vertical spikes, which you get some mild floater on. However, the seats are supposed to spin. I say supposed to because it seems like only one side is spinning while the other isn't each cycle. I've only gotten one ride on it where I spun, and it was fairly enjoyable. These are fun little family launch coasters, but kind of get boring quick since they're so repetitive. The best thing about this version is that this is the only one with lap bars, so you really feel the floater up on the top of those spikes. Number 4. Kingda Ka at Six Flags Great Adventure. Kingda Ka has been the world's tallest coaster since 2005, and even the world's fastest until 2010. While maybe at number 4, it's still one of the best coasters in the park and in the state. Flying down that track at 128 miles per hour is like nothing else in the world. If you get some breathing room with your restraint, and you hold it up going up the tower, you will get some sustained floater air flying through that tower, and if the train's moving faster, possibly some even ejector cresting the tower. And yes, you're going to want to hold up your restraint because if not, this ride's insane 5Gs will push it down a little, but it won't stop you from enjoying this ride. After cresting the 456-foot tower, you would dive down a 90-degree drop with a 270-degree roll, which is super disorienting. After that, you slam into your seat with some strong positive Gs and fly over the speed hill, pulling sustained floater airtime the entire time. The best part is, after hitting the brakes, the train slows down to about 20 miles per hour and takes a sharp left turn back to the station, which surprisingly gives some laterals. I personally think this is hilarious, but it's also awesome because they're sustained for about 3 to 4 seconds. I always used to talk down on Kingda Ka, but after the rides I've gotten on it this year, it's something I always want to ride every time I visit the park, and just barely misses my top 25 coasters. This ride is fairly short, which is why it's lower on this list, but in 28 seconds, this ride is a true experience. Number 3. TMNT Shellraiser at Nickelodeon Universe. This ride has it all: length, speed, inversions, intensity, and a really good launch. Shellraiser is the world's steepest coaster, featuring a 121.5 degree drop. However, before that drop, there is an entire ride. This ride kicks off with a steep drop into a heartline roll, which gives insane hang time. After that, you dip into a launch, and this launch is amazing. It has an insane rate of acceleration and really pushes you back into your seat. After that, you will complete 4 inversions, or 3 depending on who you talk to. After these 4 inversions, you'll slide into the first set of brakes and climb the 141-foot tall lift, to slide into a holding brake where you get a really good diet coaster effect along with a great view of the New York City skyline. Once the brakes release, you fly into an insane airtime-filled 121.5 degree drop. Unfortunately, this ride does suffer from some roughness during some of the valleys after this drop. However, despite the roughness, this ride features some great hang time, positive Gs, 8 inversions, or 7 depending on who you talk to, and a long ride. Overall, I really enjoy Shellraiser, and it's a top 25 coaster for me. Number 2. Sandy's Blasting Bronco at Nickelodeon Universe. This ride just opened as the park reopened after their closure for the pandemic, and immediately met rave reviews. This ride is absolutely fantastic. It has one of the most powerful launches ever. While the park has not released any official stats, Intamin states the ride reaches about 48 miles per hour on the launch. This speed is met in about just 1.5 seconds. After that insane launch, you fly around some hang time filled inversions and even an I-305 style transition out of the second inversion. It gives sustained floater and amazing laterals. After the final 2 hang time filled inversions, you slam into a brake run and come back into the station. However, the ride is not over yet. The train quickly turns around and has that same powerful launch, but backwards. This is an absolutely amazing sensation and solidifies this coaster as the best in the park. If you're sitting up front, that I-305 twist is even better because you get the full experience backwards. This falls under Intamin's vertical LSM coasters. If this is a preview of them, there needs to be more. The only negative thing about this ride is that it does vibrate along the track at points. This doesn't really affect you unless you're constantly re-riding, and it's definitely noticeable in the back. However, this ride does have lap bars, and so there's absolutely no headbanging, and you feel completely free flying around this tiny, intense ride. Number 1. Gale Force at Playland's Castaway Cove. This ride is absolutely insane. The ride is full of airtime, amazing laterals, and even a punchy launch. The best thing about this ride is that it now features a double cycle, so you go about this ride twice. 2 60-mile-an-hour launches, 200-degree drops, and multiple funky transitions. People criticize the ride for being quote-unquote rough, but I've never thought this. Even in its opening year when it had the alignment problems, I noticed a vibration, but nothing more. The ride is now glossy smooth, and S&S really needs to make more of these, because they are flat out amazing. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've ridden any of these coasters, let me know, and tell me how you rank them. If you enjoyed, hit the like button to beat the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more theme park content. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see everybody in the next one.